Thank you very much for joining us again to Global Village. And we have two great guests today. We have two beautiful ladies, Amy Chris from SPEC and Carol from SPEC. And we are very honored to have both of them. Not only the interview, but also they will show us how to do the recipe of Filipino food and Latino food. So we are very honored to have both of them in the program today.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think Carol is next time, I think second time that you are on the program.
Yeah,
You were before.
It is, yes.
And Chris is first time. So usually we don't ask a tough question the first time when you are on the program. We just keep that on the second time.
Okay.
But yeah. So tell us about Philippines a little bit in general, in the Philippines in terms of population-wise and what the country is like.
Okay, so Philippines is a country in Asia, and it's a little bit more populated, and it has 1,107 islands, and it has each island speak a different dialect, but we have one national language which helps us understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is Tagalog.
That is Filipino in
Okay.
Tagalog dialect.
Oh, okay, that's Filipino and then Tagalog dialect, which everybody understands each other.
Yeah,
Right.
that's how we understand each other when we speak our national language.
Okay, and of course English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, English is our second language actually in the Philippines. We speak our dialect in whatever area in our country, but in school we were taught to speak the English language from kindergarten up to university. So that's why you notice that almost all Filipinos can speak the language, as it is our second language back home.
Oh, that's neat. Thank you. And Carol, I think you discussed some time back about SPEC. So I'm not sure if that time we talk about Peru.
No, we didn't.
Okay, you want to just touch base with that?
Yeah, sure. Peru is a country that is located South America. It's a small country, but it have almost the population that you have here in Canada.
Yeah.
Almost 31 million people living there. And we have 24 different regions. And we actually, because of the Andes, we have our country is divided by 3 different regions. That will be the coast, the highland, and the jungle. I actually come from Piura, which is one city in the coast. And our language, our official language is Spanish, but we have like our dialect, which is Quechua and Aymara. When we go to school, we used to learn 3 different phrases from Quechua, which is Amasuya, Amayeya, Amakeya, which means don't lie, don't be lazy, and don't steal. That's what we learn when we're at the school.
That's very good.
And so our country is basically a really warm country and in the coast, and it's kind of cold in the, I would say in the highland, and jungle is basically very rainy. So yeah, it's a nice country. There is a lot of places to visit, and we have Machu Picchu, which is one of the wonders in the world right now. So a lot of people used to go to Peru to visit Machu Picchu.
That's very good. And you have a Spanish is the common language.
Yeah, Spanish is the official language.
The official language for everybody. Am I wrong? Probably I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but I thought there are a lot of also Japanese, and there was a president of Peru sometime back was a Japanese heritage.
Yeah.
Fujimori.
Fujimori.
Fujimori. Okay.
Fujimori. Yeah.
Fujimori, okay.
He was the president before, and yes, we do have a lot of people actually coming from different backgrounds.
Okay.
In Peru, we have a lot of Chinese, and we have a lot of African people too, who
Okay.
is living in Peru. That's what one of our music is actually very much alike to the African dance.
There you go.
And so it's just, we call the black dance, like people that dance is very pretty. That's what I love to see African people dancing.
There you go. So is
Because
it the same as the Brazilian dance of that? What do you call?
Merengue or salsa.
Oh, okay,
or,
salsa.
And no, it's a different one actually. It's very similar to the African dance, like where you move your hips all the time and you're really, very, very flexible.
And you do have also the same as Brazil, or I believe in Ontario, that in August, I believe in Ontario they have the dances of all nations And in Brazil, they have the same thing.
Yeah, we used to have festivals, like different ones, depending on the city.
Okay.
And then, yes, we do get together and we dance, and there is a lot of activity, like every country has for different festivals. And
And you are bordering with Brazil as well?
yeah, we actually, our border goes with Ecuador, we have Colombia, we have Chile, Bolivia, and Brazil. So those
Wow.
are our limits.
Borders.
And then, yeah, so being really close to each other.
Okay.
And almost all the countries in South America, we all speak Spanish, but Brazil,
Yeah.
we speak Portuguese. Yeah.
There you go. And it's, I think, one of the huge nations in the area.
Yeah, it's
In
the bigger
Brazil.
one, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So in the Philippines, there is a bordering with any nation, or they are all islands?
We're all islands, and we're surrounded by oceans. So Pacific Ocean is one of them, and that's a warm ocean. That's why Philippines is a coastal. Philippines is warm country,
Yeah.
and mostly we're having coastal areas there. We have fine beaches with white sand, and that's one of the tourist destinations too.
Oh, that's great. So coming back also the dish we might have today. So what is going to be the favorite dish in the Philippines? What is the favorite dish that in the Philippines? I know different areas, but what is the common that, for example, in most of the areas they have some musa, for example,
Yeah.
in Middle East and some of African nations.
Yes, in the Philippines, the most popular is adobo. So adobo is a Filipino cuisine that is unique, and it represents our culture as well. So when you say adobo, Filipinos identified with that cuisine, and it's a meat with all the spices. So we have those spices that are coming from the Philippines. So we have the soy sauce, the vinegar, and it's mixed with the salt and pepper, and the unique taste of that makes it like only in the Philippines that you can find that adobo, which even other nationalities, even Canadian wants to try them.
Wow.
So when they ask somebody if they are invited in a Filipino household, they will always ask, "So you have adobo?" Yeah, they
Oh.
always expect that.
So is that like the Filipino language, or that is in English, adobo?
Adobo is purely a Filipino language.
Oh, okay. Okay, so adobo. Okay, that's very good. So next time when I see someone in their
Somebody
house, I
else
will ask for adobo then.
Yeah.
Now that one of the singers that I have known through his songs was Freddy Aguilar. Freddy
Ah, okay.
Aguilar, I think, that had a song "The Child," was a big hit back in those days. I think he had a song called "The Child" or "Anak," I think in
Filipino, yeah. So yeah, Freddy Aguilar is an artist that is very popular, especially in his period. Lots of people. He is popular with that song that you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
Anak,
Yeah.
and he has more albums too. He is more of an artist that loves to promote the Filipino culture. He is not into pop, but he is more into those traditional songs.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they translated that song into many languages. And like the child, the importance of the parents for their child, or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they translated in many language. But coming back also to Peru, so what's the common?
So if you go to Peru, like everybody will talk about ceviche. You know,
Ceviche.
like just marinate fish.
Mhm.
So we marinate it with really lime or lemon, and then we also use a lot of spice like ají, which is pepper, and so you won't be at Peru without eating ceviche, like
Wow.
everywhere. And even in the coast, just because we have the fresh fish, you know, coming from the beach and everything, is just amazing because you have a variety. Like here in Canada, we can use basa for ceviche, but there, I mean, you have quite a few different fishes that you can use for ceviche, and it's very tasty. It's like delicious, and everybody who will go to Peru will always ask for ceviche. And you would identify, like when we have tourists, they say, okay, where we can go to eat ceviche, you know, like it's just a great opportunity for tourists to taste it in different restaurants.
So is it more to the fishing sector than in Peru?
Well, we have a lot of depending. We have a lot of agriculture. We do have fishing, like in my area, because we live close to the ocean, right? But I would say that even Piura is basically well known by agriculture, by fishing, and also for the mines that we have there.
But that fish is popular with tourists
and
everybody else.
Yeah,
okay. That's a common for Peru.
Yeah, there are different dishes, but ceviche will be the one that will identify. Like you wouldn't say Peru, you wouldn't be at Peru without eating ceviche.
Ceviche.
Yeah.
Oh, that's maybe then that's something that we should be asking Carol to cook for us one time.
I tried it.
Yeah, we actually I had that for the Taste of Nation the 2 previous years. So
so is it any fish with lemon?
We'll use basa here because it's only one available, basa, and I guess it's the best for the purpose of
for the test.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a fish and lemon.
Yeah.
No, that's a thing, and that's something that probably will be looking for.
And a lot of spicy, like if you use,
spicy.
Spicy, like if you have like a pepper, like a really, you can use some the jalapenos or some of the Mexican we use here because those are the ones that we have available.
Yeah.
But in Peru we have different kinds, but they're at the end of the day they're always the same.
So hot sauce.
Yeah.
Oh. That's very
They have
good.
to be really spicy. Like if you want to, it's a good ceviche, it has to be spicy.
Well,
and then you can drink your beer.
Very good.
No,
not me, but Therese will drink the beer.
Yeah, but it's very similar to the Indians hot, and Pakistanis. I think they have very hot dishes.
Yeah, we use a lot of hot sauce. Yeah.
Oh, so that's a common then.
Yeah, it's very common
In Peru. No, I think it's Peru is small, but I think compared to most of other nations within South and Central America, I think it's a fair size.
Yeah.
There are smaller nations there than Peru.
Yeah.
Right? There are smaller nations than Peru in South and Central America.
Yeah.
So Peru is a fair size nation, not compared to Brazil or Argentina
Argentina is just long, like Chile. Argentina and Chile is the longest one, but not the biggest. The biggest is Brazil.
Okay, but Argentina and Chile also are big nations within the
South America.
So Brazil is the only nation speaks Portuguese.
Yeah. That's
the whole continent.
Oh no, I'm talking about South America.
South and Central.
Yeah, South America and Central America, because we do have, like Honduras, El Salvador, Mexico, they all speak Spanish, right? That's Central America.
Oh, okay, so Spanish is the common language within.
We say Latinos, right? Starting from Central America down to South America.
All Latinos.
Latinos.
Yeah, somebody was telling me yesterday, I think she said she's a Canadian from mainstream. When I say Canadian, everyone say Canadian, so from the mainstream. And she said Spanish might overpass the English language in a worldwide speaking. And I said, I don't think so, because still English is far more countries speak English than Spanish, because you're looking from the Far East Asia, and you're looking in Africa, or you're looking in the Middle East, or those colonized by the British, the Empire. I think still English has the little bit far edge compared to Spanish. I could be wrong, but her assessment was they either coming closer, or maybe the Spanish might probably be first language far more than Spanish. And I said, well, at least we have a good friends of Spanish, so we can learn Spanish fast anyway.
Yeah,
that would
my
be
country
easy.
was actually colonized by the Spanish people as well as with the Americans. So it's an advantage for me because I can understand a little bit of Spanish, and I can understand and speak English as well. So even though in the office I am surrounded with Spanish people, I can still understand what they're saying. So it's an advantage for me.
But did the Filipino elders, for example, the older generation, do they speak Spanish?
Oh, my grandfather is actually very fluent in Spanish.
Oh.
And he can write Spanish as well. We were colonized for 333 years by the Spaniards, and our great-great-grandfather speaks Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah.
So
but
the young
later
generation is lost to them.
Yeah, but later generation, but still it is integrated in our language.
Mm-hmm.
There is still some of our language are actually in Spanish. You can say like 10 to 20% of our language are still in Spanish.
Oh, the Tagalog is speaks it with Spanish.
We have dialects, right?
Yeah.
But there are lots, even in my national language, which is Tagalog, which is the Filipino language in Tagalog dialect. There are lots of Spanish language words there. But there is a region in my country, which is the Chabacano area, that is like 90% Spanish language.
And last time I met a consul who actually spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that was nice.
very good. I think the Muslim province, what do you call
The Mindanao area.
the Mindanao? They speak
Michael.
they speak Tagalog, right?
They're mixed as well. So
Okay.
some of them speak in Mindanao area. Some people speak Hiligaynon there,
Yeah.
and other is Cebuano speaking. So they're actually mixed because, as I've said before, each island
It's
they have their own
different.
dialect.
Okay.
So
No, I think that's well said. If Spanish becomes the first language in the world, then we have Carol.
Yeah.
She will teach us.
Interpret for us.
So no worries.
You will learn it.
No worries. Yeah, we
she
have
can interpret for us.
we have Carol, so good friend. So she will teach us the Spanish language, and that might be advantage. So, but thank you very much for both of you coming. And,
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for letting us be here.
yeah, and Specs is doing a great job. So that's one of the first, I think, organization in Brooks area since 1978, I believe. Right. So thank you very much for coming, Chris, and I hope we will have you next time, and we'll keep
Sure.
the tough questions next time.
Yeah.
Okay? Thanks, Kyle, as
Thank you.
always, for coming
very
again,
much.
and we are very honored to have both of you.
Thank you.
This is the end of program of Global Village. This is your host, Ahmed Kasim. This is where the East meets with the West, and we appreciate and we are thankful to the Brooks, City of Brooks, Medicine Arts College, and County of New York for supporting this program. Until then, God bless you and keep hope alive.